Hi, Leslie. Thanks for meeting with me today. Leslie is one of my clients. We've been working together for a few months, and she's absolutely lovely and done amazing. And today, she's just going to tell us a little bit about her journey on the whole body reboot.
Thanks very much for the invitation. I've enjoyed getting to know Carrie and other people in the group very much, and have had great success with Carrie's program, and felt very supported by Carrie and the group that you get to join when you become part of Total Body Reboot. So I was able to lose more weight than I ever thought possible, and I'm back to about what I used to be when I was in my early 20s, and I'm 64, sadly soon to be 65. So I feel like it's a great achievement, and I have Carrie to thank. So.
Oh, well, you're welcome, but you also have yourself to thank, because you jumped in and did it even when it was hard to trust another program could work, right?
Yeah.
So let's take it back to before you began the whole body reboot. What were maybe three things that you were really struggling with?
Well, I found that suddenly my health was deteriorating, really. And I had very high cholesterol, and my doctor was threatening to put me on these horrible drugs. And then I had planned this trip to Europe, and the week before I left, I had a gallbladder attack, and it was like terrifying. But you know, our medical system is a little odd sometimes, and they were supposed to contact me and they didn't, and I contacted them and they didn't get back to me. And then next thing I knew, I was in France worrying about whether I should eat foie gras or not. Anyway, I managed the whole summer. I relaxed a bit and everything was fine. But when I came home, school started in September, and I started talking to my niece in Victoria, and her daughter had done this program with Carrie, and my doctor was prodding me, wanting me to take all these pills, and I didn't want to do that. And so I contacted Carrie because my niece's daughter had done so well, Lindsay, and then it was like a no-brainer to start this program. And you know, it's a funny program. It really wasn't hard. It was just changing your way of living and being more aware of what you're putting in your body, I think, and why you're putting it in your body, and what your body requires to thrive, and what hurts it and what helps it. So I learned a lot.
So a lot of women feel like they know what to eat to be healthy, and they know what they should be doing, but for some reason it's not easy. So why do you think it was easier to do on the program than on your own?
The program is many faceted. It's not just the diet. There's a psychological approach to it, and there's also a social aspect to it that and a philosophical aspect to it. I think that all those things kind of combined with all the information, which made it very well-rounded. You know, one of the things that just caught my imagination at the very beginning was that kind of pie graph thing that you did about, you know, satisfaction with your whole life, not just your weight, but you know, how your life has progressed, and whether there's enough love in your life, and whether you're content, and whether you're, you know, satisfied with many, many, many different aspects. And that helped me to realize perhaps why I had been overeating, you know, trying to find some sort of satisfaction that I wasn't getting in other parts of my life. So that was very helpful. And then also the idea of when you're dieting and limiting your intake, to not attempt to exercise at the same time. That I think was crucial, because in the past I had, joined Weight Watchers, I don't know, a couple of times, and many other diets. But all of them recommended that you exercise, plus do all this adjusting with what you're taking in. And like Carrie says, it's too much for your system to handle, and then something has to give. And of course, what the give is usually in the diet. And then you just fall back into your old ways and you never ever have success. So I found this to be a very forgiving and understanding way of life. And I feel like it's changed my way of life and made me a much happier person in the long run.
Ah, so happy to hear that. So what would you say, did you have goals at the beginning? Like, did you have kind of 2 goals or 3 goals that you set out to achieve?
Pardon me. Well, one goal was certainly to get myself healthier so that my GP was not trying to practically inject me with things every time I went to. I mean, she's a lovely, lovely person, but, and she had my own, my welfare at heart. But I don't like pharmaceuticals and that kind of thing. I've never have. And so I didn't want to get myself in a position where I was taking things like that were then doing damage to other parts of my body and yada, yada, yada. So I was determined because of that to be successful, I think. And then also I knew that I was galumphing around with too much weight. And it's hard on you. I mean, I remember feeling not just heavy, but as if I was rolling down the street kind of thing. That's so unpleasant to think of it that way. But now I just feel so alive. And I feel strong, and I don't know how to describe it. I feel live, and I haven't felt that way for 30 years, Wow. It's just amazing. So I feel invigorated by the whole experience.
A lot of women say they don't feel like themselves anymore. And that's kind of what I'm picturing. Like if you weren't feeling like you're in your body, like you're lugging around all this, but it doesn't feel like you, right?
Oh my God. And I was telling you the other day about, lying in bed, and I'm like, sort of feeling myself going, oh God, is that me? I can feel my hips. I can feel all these parts of I used to, I think, be like a little, ringed seal lying in bed, this, not a nice image, but I feel like a woman again.
Wow. That's amazing, Leslie. Oh, I love it. So the 2 top goals were your health and not going down that path of starting to get a bunch of medications that then snowball into causing side effects and other medications. And also to get your body back and lose that weight and feel good in your body again and feel alive.
Yes, I feel like I've, achieved that. And then a very happy byproduct of the whole thing is that I just feel happier about myself. And it seems to be reflecting in my life. Like pardon me, I'm a school teacher, and I have a challenging class this year, let me put it that way. But I've never enjoyed my class so much in my entire life as I have this year. And just, I've fallen in love with these children, and I just enjoy every day at work, and to a much huge, I always have loved it, but it's huge for me this year. And, soon I'm going to retire, and I'm having these, experiences that I'm cherishing at work, and it's really wonderful. really happy about it.
So you feel like you're able to enjoy the children more and your work more now because you're in a better place? Is that what you're saying?
I think so, yeah. And my whole life seems to have changed quite a bit. I feel like I'm a much more positive person than I had been in the past. So I mean, I notice that about like having these charming little interactions with complete strangers that, that I haven't had in a long, long time. And I don't know what that is, other than I think that, when Christy kind of talks about, the vibration. I'm not really up on all this lingo, but I do feel that I must be like sort of tripping along in this sort of positive cloud that other people might be picking up on or something, and it's real pleasant.
Wow. Yeah.
Very pleasant.
That's beautiful. So yeah, share a little bit about the community itself. So you mentioned Christy, that's our energy healer in the group. We have lots of amazing support and women in there, and I know you've become a huge part of that community. So how is that beneficial to your journey to have that community?
Well, as you do something like this, sometimes you're elated and you want to talk to somebody about, maybe a success you've had. And within that group, that people are going to, understand where you're coming from and accept what you're thinking, kind of without judgment, and a lot without judgment, and acceptance and encouragement. And the same thing if you're feeling discouraged or you've made a mistake. If you if you want to talk to someone about it, you can post in this group and say that, oh my God, I ate a box of Pringles, and nobody's going to castigate you for doing that. They're just going to say, oh my gosh, I did that too, or, don't worry about it. Today's another day, or whatever it is that makes you feel like, you're not a bad person, that everybody has lapses and successes and, depressions, I suppose, or whatever it is that is either bothering you or lifting you up. And then the group tends to always lift you up no matter what. And that's so important, because I don't know if I'm the only person, but a lot of my friends are not open to this sort of experience, because I guess they can't imagine. They think that I'm having to exercise so much control and self-will, and actually it ends up not being like that. It ends up being more, a decision about what you think, what you think would be best for you in the long run. And I'm not leading the impulsive life that I used to live as far as my diet is concerned. And then it seems to have improved my life overall because of that, I'm not having these sugar rushes or sugar crashes. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat, of course, now.
Yeah, I did before too. That's okay. I think that's really important, because people that aren't on the program, they can't understand or relate to what we're going through in that community. Everybody understands and can relate. And also, people will have their own fears and ideas that they're projecting onto you because of their experience that they are having with a diet that's, causing them to have to use that discipline and control. And so they can't understand if they're not in it, right? So
and I actually had a friend I think she's my friend, I don't know, tell me that she thought I looked scrawny and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I don't feel that way. I don't know. I've never felt better. So I think that she was projecting something.
Oh, for sure,
that.
for sure.
Poor thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look absolutely lovely and
You're very kind.
and healthy. You're glowing, and that your body will let you know if it's getting too thin or not getting what it needs. It's going to let you know, right? You're going to feel tired. You're not going to feel happy and motivated like you do, right? And your body will let you know, and because you're feeling so good, that's a good sign. That's what we want to listen to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole, I think what you just said is the key to the whole thing. It's learning to listen to your body, not doing what you think you should, but listening to your body and letting your body tell you what it needs, and living that way. Like it's actually very simple. It's simple.
It is simple, and it actually it's hard to understand why no one else is doing it this way. All the other programs are still in that mindset of you have to restrict your eating, and then the body goes into a stress response and wants to hang on to that weight or gain it back. And then you're in constant tug of war with your body. And it just seems so obvious. Like, the body is holding on to the weight for the reason. Let's work with it. And then it thrives. And then we're happier too, right? And it's not a constant, like, war. But it takes a while sometimes for people to really understand that there's a fully different perspective on this, because we've been trained the other way for so long.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And I totally appreciate everything that you've shared with the group and with me, and I appreciate the group too. Like, I can't remember too many people's names because I'm so bad, but like Sandy's great, and I've gotten such a kick out of Christy, because I think mainly because I'm such a, I'm pretty staid and conservative, and she's kind of woo-woo for me, but I really like that. And I've enjoyed, like today I've decided when we're done, I'm going to go into Vancouver, because I love it down there by the Cardero's restaurant right by the water, and I'm going to find a nice quiet place, and I'm going to do those breathing exercises and visualization exercises.
Oh, you're getting woo-woo on us now.
Sit there and take it all in. And
awesome.
Because it's not raining yet.
Lovely day.
And just enjoy it, because I seldom take those times, and I actually coded into my phone that I was supposed to have me time at 4:00, and I've only done it once in the past 2 months. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to go and have some serious me time this afternoon down by the ocean.
Lovely.
Looking forward to that.
Lovely. And sometimes it's really hard for us to take that time for ourselves. There's a lot of guilt, or like, I have so much to do. To let ourselves relax and have that time. Sometimes we feel bad about it, but it's essential. So I'm really glad that you're doing that for yourself.
Very cool to hear you talk about making sure that you have that structured into every day, and in the evening, how you do that. I still haven't. That's a goal of mine, is to make sure that I start to do that and continue to do that for the rest of my life.
Do it in a way that is fun, and use that video on goals, and remember that if we're not adding in that joy and time for ourselves to relax, we will be triggered to go to food for that, to ease the tension. So we need to get that somewhere else before the food triggers happen, right? Yeah. So how would you describe the journey of Whole Body Reboot?
Exciting, rejuvenating, philosophical, definitely healthy, so healthy, very positive. and worth every penny that you might spend. Yeah.
Lovely.
I don't know, a billion other words, I think.
Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. So would you recommend the program to others?
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a fantastic experience.
Lovely.
Life-changing.
Lovely. Well, thank you. Thanks so much for talking with us today. You've done amazing. I don't even think we've mentioned the numbers. We've talked about all of your amazing achievements that you've had through this process, but you have in total lost 36 pounds, which is...
Yeah, I did. I meant to say also that, and I did it in a pretty short period of time. I think it could have been in a much shorter period of time, but I think there was some psychological nonsense going on in there. It's been great. And what was I going to say? Just that I had joined Weight Watchers and lost, because I'd been over 180 pounds and got myself down to 161. And then after that, there was no possible way I could lose anything. And I was just like, didn't matter what I did. So yeah, this was the only way to get where I wanted to be and where I need to be.
Yeah. And I think that's the common story of what everyone's struggling with is they'll do Weight Watchers or these programs and their body will be put into that stress response. So it will only lose so much and then it won't budge or it will want to gain it back after. So we have to really stop putting the body into that stress response. And we use homeopathy on our program. And we also signal to the body at the beginning that it's in a state of feast and not famine, because we need to reset that metabolism so that your body isn't thinking it needs to hang on to those fat stores.
Yeah. And speaking of homeopathic solutions, I love yours way better, way more than the other one.
Awesome.
So great.
Awesome. Thanks for saying that. Yes, I love it too. Beautiful. All right. Well, thanks so much, Leslie. It's been lovely to talk with you today, and we'll say goodbye now. Enjoy your time down by the water and in the sun.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Of course we will. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.